my healthy lifestyle community. Hopefully, we are live. Sometimes there's a delay, so I will string this out as a few more seconds. I do believe we are live. It's always so awkward. Like, there's this weird, like, I don't know, is it working? Is it not working? Syndrome. Anyways, thank you all for your support. I love all your comments. I love every bit that you guys are sharing in the group. Please know this is your group. Make a thread. Tell us what challenges you're having, what barriers you're enduring, what are your goals? What are you excited about in your healthy lifestyle journey? Are you just starting? Are you trying to start? Have you fallen off the wagon? Where are you? What are you doing? Let us cheer you on. Let's push you. Let us help you. So whatever you're dealing with, maybe it's self-sabotage, or maybe family members are sabotaging you, or friends, or we are recording this the day before Halloween. So maybe you're struggling with that, right? I just came from the grocery store and there's candy everywhere. And of course, now it's on sale. So does that scare you? Are you able to go through the grocery store and not bring that stuff home? What challenges are you dealing with? Post it in the group. Feel free to start your own thread. Let us help you. Let us cheer you on. This is your community. I love it. We've had this group up and going for a couple of years now, and we're growing. We're over 2,000 people, which is exciting. I do want to talk about a couple of things today, mainly tracking your food and your water. I have to track my food and water every day, period. I just have to. I have to know how much water I've consumed. I have to know when the last time I ate, how much I ate. If I don't track, I go way off course. Like, it kind of starts off slowly and then it just like crash and burn. I have to document everything I eat and drink every day. Now, I will say that usually a day or two, about 48 hours after a show, I usually go dark. But aside from that, I track everything I drink and I eat. Why? Because it brings awareness to what I am putting in my body. I do believe food is what gives me energy, allows me to look the way I do, to be as strong as I am, to be able to do as much as I'm able to do, and fulfill my goals and my dreams. So it's really, really important for me to stay on track. It's really important for me to know, am I eating enough protein in the day? Am I getting my carbohydrates? Am I getting my fat numbers? All these things are really, really critical, especially after a show. Certainly, I love to indulge right after a bodybuilding show, but I also know that it's really important to reverse diet, right? Slowly bringing up my calories, because if I just go completely off the scales, I will balloon up, feel horrible. My joints will hurt. My sleeping patterns will get all messed up. My hormones will go way out of whack. So it's really, really important for me to know what I'm putting in my body. A lot of times when I first start working with a client, a first call, first thing I ask them is, what is it like today? What have you eaten today or yesterday even? Oftentimes they're like, well, I don't know what I ate yesterday. And then they kind of think about it and they might rattle off a few things, but I'm positive they're forgetting some stuff, right? So it's really, really important to know what you're eating every single day. And like I said, most of my clients are new clients. They can't remember. I can't remember everything off the top of my head that I ate yesterday. That's why I track it. I know. It also helps me with portion control. In fact, I just ate a kale salad with chicken. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's a Mediterranean dish that I made last night. Kind of one of my tricks that I do is I always, for dinner, I make 2 extra portions. So it covers 2 of my meals for the next day. So that's what I made last night, was this wonderful Mediterranean chicken salad that's with kale. But after I ate that, I was like, man, I still want to eat more. But then I'm like, no, that portion was a perfect amount. But it's so funny how that little voice in my head was like, I want to eat more. But I think we all can relate to that, right? Like, gimme, gimme, gimme more, more, more. So part of that is the fact that, did I eat too fast? Right? That's what I kind of sat with. I'm like, did I eat way too fast? Because if you do eat too fast, oftentimes your brain hasn't triggered or doesn't realize that your stomach is satisfied. We don't need to eat to fullness. We don't need to eat to where we're busting at the seams like Thanksgiving, right? We just need to eat to fill that void, feel comfortable, putting high quality food in our body, and then moving on. Like, I'm like, okay, what can I do for the next couple of hours? I have a couple clients that I'm talking to this afternoon, but aside from that, I thought I haven't done my live. So, and this was the topic that I wanted to talk about. So, jumped on my live. But also, it brings light to, am I eating enough? Right? Because sometimes life can get really, really, really busy. And at the end of the day, we can look and see what we've eaten, and it might only be 600 calories, and that's not enough, right? So you might be feeling tired, you might be feeling drained, you might be grumpy, you might be moody. Well, if you've only eaten 600 calories for the whole day, no joke, right? Especially if you're working out, you are in a too high of a calorie deficit, which puts you in starvation. You know, documenting your food and knowing what you eat, especially if you're working out, you need to eat enough protein, right? To repair those muscles, to keep you moving, to make sure your body is not cannibalizing your muscles. Especially if you're on a weight loss journey, you want to make sure you maintain as much muscle as possible. I get that you want to lose body fat, but you got to be careful that you're not losing muscle on top of it. Enough fat, right? Enough fat gives you the clarity, thinking clearly. But again, fat is like so misunderstood. Like, you know, a quarter of an avocado is plenty for the whole day. Oftentimes I start working with clients and they're eating copious amounts of fat, like tons of it, animal fat, skin, avocados, olive oil, coconut oil, MCT. They're throwing oil on everything and they don't know why they've plateaued or they can't lose weight. Copious amounts of fat. Fat is good, certain kinds of fat, but you've got to know what those portion sizes are. Also, it's really important for me to eat a lot of vegetables. I want to have a vast variety. Like we had kale salad last night. You know, kale wasn't something that I used to much care for, but when I learned how to pick it, prepare it, eat it in a way or create meals in a way that I enjoyed it and my family enjoyed it, we fold that into our menu once or twice a week. But having a variety of vegetables is really, really important to me. Getting that fiber, getting those high nutrient foods in our diet is really, really important. So making sure, again, I'm hitting all my macros for my goals, right? I know what I want to do. I know how I want my body to look. I know how I want my body to feel. So it really allows me to dial in and look and see that, am I getting enough carbs? Am I getting enough proteins, fats, everything? The time of day, you know, documenting what you eat really helps identify that you're spacing it out appropriately, but also, you know, are there certain times of day that you're maybe craving extra, you know, like I did just a little bit ago. I'm like, oh, I could eat more, you know, so is this a certain time of day? Is that always happening at this time of day? Why is that? Maybe I need to look at my macros. Maybe I need to change something. Is there something triggering me at this point in time in my day? I know in the evening is honestly my hardest time. And I think a lot of it just has to do with my childhood, you know? So I just really embrace that and I feel the feelings and I realign those feelings and those emotions and I pour into things that I really enjoy, that give me joy and happiness and fulfill my evenings and use up that time wisely. So that's night times are quite often a trigger for a lot of my clients, and I truly just really sit down with them and say, you know, what is it that brings you joy and happiness? What hobbies or things that you can continue doing? Maybe it's furthering your education. Maybe it's, you know, something that doesn't have to do with social media or the news, nothing doom and gloom, nothing sad, but things that bring happiness and joy into your life. Let's fold that into your evenings. Let's create that time, that space, that energy that's uplifting and fun and exciting and things to look forward to. And, you know, documenting what I eat, I traditionally, almost every single day, I eat at certain times a day. Like it's almost like clockwork, right? So I know. I used to use a timer, and I do suggest that with all my clients. I did for years. I used a timer. Now I use a stopwatch, so I don't have anything dinging or interrupting a call or, just I don't like noises, to be honest with you. So I use actually a stopwatch. So whenever I'm feeling like, oh man, I feel like it's almost time to eat, I feel like my blood sugars are starting to drop, I'll look at my timer and go, oh, I got 20 minutes, right? So I'll do something or finish something up for the next 20 minutes. Or sometimes it's like, oh man, it is time to eat. Yay. All right, stop what I'm doing. Have a nice snack or meal, and then move on to my next project. But I do think it's important to document so you know like when you last ate. Uh, it also helps me eat less, making sure that I'm having small portions, 6 times a day. Sometimes I eat 7 times a day. I try to eat 6 times a day. That's what keeps my body lean, mean, and fighting machine. Most of the time when I talk to a new client, they're eating once, twice, or 3 times a day, and that's just not enough. In my opinion, I am a diabetes prevention health coach, and all the studies that I've done, and I have studied in many different places and sources, and every single one talks about eating small meals spaced out 2.5, 3 hours every day, all day. So yeah, that might be against what you're doing, but if it works for you, great. If you're looking for something different, I encourage you to book a call with me. Let's debate it. But again, it helps me time block my day. It chops up my day. I know what I'm doing. Like I eat first thing out the gate, hydrate and eat, and then I have 2 hours that I do work on the computer, eat, hydrate, and then I do a workout. So like my day is time blocked. I have everything worked out and scheduled. I love it. I love having a schedule. I thrive on it. And if you would have asked me that 10 years ago or 11 years ago, I would have been like, no, I like to just wing it. I like to just, whatever gets thrown at me, I just like to deal with it. Well, I was wrong. I look back at that, and my health wasn't great. I was miserable. I was unsatisfied. I was way out of balance. I couldn't understand why I was in this war with my body. It wasn't it didn't look the way I wanted it to look, and it certainly didn't feel good on the inside. Now I actually, this was said to me in the locker room a couple weeks ago, and I was like, whoa, light bulb. But a woman that I know pretty well that works out at my gym, she's like, I don't do well when I'm not on prep. And prep means like you're preparing for a bodybuilding show. And I was like, whoa, that's me. I feel the exact same way. I love knowing that I have a show coming up. I love having that hard, fast date set in the future, something to look forward to, something to stay on pace for, something to improve my body. And it's just a deadline. It's a goal. It's something that's out there. And so that's why I've done this for so many years. I love competition. I love the glamour of it. I love the excitement of it. But I also love having that hard, fast date. It's almost like having a wedding, or, some sort of party or celebration. But I like having routine. I like knowing what I have to plan for and look forward to. Again, talking about carbs, fats, proteins, making sure that I do get carbs every day. Oftentimes I can get into real simple eating, just protein and vegetables, but I know that carbs are really, really important. I need my carbohydrates. That allows me to feel really well. And I know there's a lot of taboo out there. There's a lot of people that are pro keto and stuff like that. Know that I don't teach diets. I don't teach dieting at all. Definitely not keto and definitely not fasting. But I do educate my clients on creating a healthy lifestyle. But carbs are really necessary. The right kind, the right amount, and the timing is really, really important. Water is crazy important. How you lose body fat is through sweat, pee, and breath. So hydration is extremely important. It's also very important for anybody that's pre-diabetic or diabetic. 90% of your blood is water. So if you're not hydrating, your numbers are going to end up being a lot higher. Your heart's going to work a lot harder. And it's just purely just hard on your kidneys, your livers, your everything, your pancreas. It's just hard on your whole body. So please stay hydrated. Right now I checked actually before I got on. I'm almost at 80 ounces of water, and it's 1:45 in the afternoon. So don't tell me you can't drink water. It's quite simple. In fact, I feel actually a little dehydrated at this point in time. So as soon as I get off, I'm going to hydrate again. But it's just really, really important to stay really, really hydrated. And just like for doing bodybuilding shows, I dehydrate the day of the show a little bit just to show my muscles a little bit more. And it's miserable. I don't know how I walked around. I used to hate water. Like I used to make fun of people that drink water. I don't know how I walked around like that. It feels terrible. It truly feels amazing to be hydrated. And it takes me about 3 to 4 days to get hydrated again and feeling good. In fact, that's part of the reason why I didn't do the live this week, other than the fact that we're jackhammering in my house. Long story. But anyways, I also believe that tracking your food allows you to see some habits. Maybe you're snacking, you're taking bites off your kid's plate, or grabbing candy in a candy dish, or being tempted where you might be consuming more calories in a day than you realized, especially if you're drinking a bunch of calories, a bunch of these Starbucks drinks or whatever. Stop it. But it does bring awareness. It shines a light on some of those habits that you might have. Empty calories, alcohol is another one. But brings awareness on some areas that you can improve in. Helps with planning. Maybe you'll notice when you start tracking that maybe you are going 4 or 5 hours without eating or hydrating. These are areas that you need to work on. If it's at work, you need to find a way to take a break. Don't tell me you can't take a break at work. Like that can't be legal. You've got to be able to take a bathroom break, hydrate, and eat, and then go back to work. But find a way, talk to your supervisor, talk to your boss, or talk to yourself if you're your own boss, and make the time. It's really important. Helps with planning. Again, you'll see the gaps in your food, or maybe where you're short on protein in a day. It lets you know if you're not eating enough calories, or because that is really important. A lot of people think, oh, less calories, less calories, less calories, more working out, more working out. No. There is a magic, and there's no one size fits all, but documenting and knowing what you eat is truly very important. It also shows what you're doing well. A lot of my clients that I start working with, I'm surprised, like there are some really good things. Like usually 1 or 2 of their meals is really, really good. We just got to work on the rest of the day. So it does highlight those things that you're doing well, and we can talk about those things. It also will help you detect any sensitivities or intolerances. So many of my clients I first start working with are in denial about the fact that maybe nightshades or corn or, these processed foods or dairy or different things are an issue for them. But it really, truly is for everyone. Some of us more than others. Alternative sugars or sugar alcohols are a thing that oftentimes they don't present themselves right away. And sometimes you don't even feel them for hours or the next day. So documenting your food and kind of going, why is it that I didn't sleep well last night? Well, let's look and see what you ate and what you drank the day before. That could be one of the things. Maybe you're having extra joint pain or pain in your knees or your knuckles or your feet or your hips. It could be what you're eating. Quite often I work with clients and they tell me they have all this joint pain, but after we clean up their diet, it usually takes months, but usually they'll come to me and go, I cannot believe how you were right, that now that I'm eating a lot better, I feel better. My joints don't hurt nearly as bad. And my doctor told me I had arthritis, and my doctor told me I had this and that, and they're giving me all these drugs and all these medications. I'm telling you, what you eat matters. So I think that was pretty much, my last one is reflect on progress. So documenting what you eat helps you reflect on progress, right? So a lot of you, when you first talk to me, you're like, oh, I want to lose 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, whatever. We typically kind of move away from that. And the reason why I say that is because if you get really hyper focused on the scale, that number on the scale, oftentimes you're focused on the wrong thing. So we want to make sure that, even the way my wellness app is designed, I don't have you weighing things necessarily. I just have you taking a picture of it and telling me kind of generically what it is. It's more about eating high quality food, high nutrient food. So it's progressing toward away from processed foods and eating more high quality food, right? So if you think that you can go grocery shopping once a month or once a week, it's not going to happen. Eating healthy, you're going to need to go to the store at least twice a week because foods that are healthy for you do perish really quickly. But, we won't focus nearly as much on the scale. We'll focus more on just high quality food, hydration, sleep, reducing your stress. So many different things. There's so many levers that I can help you with and adjust that will make a huge impact on your health, versus worrying about that number on the scale. Just putting it out there. But anyways, I went over my 15 minutes. I feel like I rambled a little bit, but this was a great topic. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please comment below. Tell me, just hit replay. Ask me any questions that you have. Just say, hey, great video, whatever it is that supports me in this group. If we haven't talked on the phone about your goals and what you want to achieve, let's do it. Let's jump on a call. I would love to get to know you, help you with your goals in any way, shape, or form. I'm here for you. So here I am, Coach Catherine. Let's have a great Friday. And if you need anything, don't be afraid to message me. Private message me. I'm here for you. And again, comment in the group. Start your own thread of any challenges or things that you need help with. Let us help you. We want to help you. And if you haven't introduced yourself, do that as well. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.